our last Christmas themed live of the year. In fact, it's our last live of the year. So I'm really excited to have you with us today. Hopefully what I come up with you guys find interesting and helpful, and I hope you can understand me. I have a little bit of a head cold, so I sound in my head like Kermit the Frog. So I don't know what I sound like to you guys, but hopefully I'm clear and you can understand me. And we're just gonna poke some posies and have a little Christmas cheer in here today. So I have in studio with me, of course, Ricky, keeping us live and operating and functioning. Not sure what we would do without her, because on live days, man, I tell you, it's a little cuckoo around here. Teacher Annie is going to be on Facebook and YouTube, so if you have questions, or when you answer my questions, she will be calling them out to me. In the cyber world, you have Susie with you, of course, on YouTube, and Caledonia on Facebook. Michael is out there, Dove is out there, they're probably bouncing between the two, and of course David and Leanne might pop on. They are coming back from a little vacation, yay them, and hopefully she was able to be on a layover and can pop on and say hi. If not, she'll catch it on the replay. So today we are talking about classic Christmas. So last week you guys had a super treat with Teacher Annie. She debuted the color of the year for 2025, which was Mocha Mousse, if I'm correct on that. And they looked amazing on camera because I watched it on replay. But when I got into the studio in the warehouse today, she actually had a couple of the pieces still there. Some of the flowers looked a little worse for wear because it's been a week and it's been really cold in the studio. But honest to Pete, y'all, that antler piece, if that didn't break the internet, I don't know what was going to do it, because it is even more spectacular in person than it looked like on camera.
Oh my goodness, thank you.
Big round of applause, because I told her, I said, girl, you slayed last week. It was amazing. So this week, completely different. We're focusing on red and white. Very classic Christmas. So I'm going to do an all white arrangement with silver. I'll do an all red arrangement, and then I'm going to put the two together with something kind of fun. At least in my sketch and in my head, it looks like fun. So I'm going to grab my first one. Start with this fun silver cube. You've seen us use these before. I have some, I was going to say gilded. I always think of gilding as being gold, not silver. But either way, we're going to call them metallic. How's that? Silver metallic branches. These are actually Japanese maple branches, and these are out of my yard, of course. And they had kind of an antler vibe. This one got kind of an antler vibe for some reason. But we just hit them with some Design Master Super Silver spray paint. Say that 4 times fast. And they just take on this wonderful reflective quality, and it helps pull that same silver up into the design, which of course helps with my, what people, if you're a tulip, you know what that helps with as far as my principles of design. Oh good, I have a knife in my pocket. I was afraid that I hadn't. I was going to have to use something up here. So I'm starting with Midnight Foam. It's already been soaked in flower food water. Excuse me, hairballs. And I have some fun things to play with. I don't know if Jim is with us yet today or not. I'm glad you're not in the studio today, my friend, because I have glitter. I have glitter on everything up here. And I wasn't even actually glittering anything, but I have glitter on everything. So, that's how it goes. So, I want to kind of do Winter Wonderland with this one. So I'm going to work with some pine cones, and excuse me, we'll see what I end up with. An assortment of pine cones, and I also brought in some gorgeous silver metallic ribbon. Ribbon is so on trend right now. I'm gonna find a way to put a bow in there. And if I don't put a bow in, remind me to put a bow in it, right? It's like put a bird on it in Portland, well, let's put a bow in it in Portland also. So as I get started with this, is anybody with us today? Do we have tulips with us? Do we have first timers? Are you a first timer? Is this the first time you've been with us for live? If it is, please type your name. Say, hi, my name is Michelle, and this is my first time on live. And I ask you to do that, not to single you out, but because our tulips and our super tulips and all the tulipy tulips are some of the nicest people you are going to run into on this planet, and they want to say hello to you and make you welcome. So if you're a first timer, type that in. Otherwise, tell me who you are, where you're from, and I have a question for you also as you type that in. We got our Christmas tree last week. I'm looking for tape. And I'm probably not going to find it, so we'll make it work. I come from a family who cuts their Christmas tree, either at a tree farm or out in the woods. And my husband and I went out and cut our tree, got a permit and cut it on the National Forest. And so my question to you is, are you a live tree person or are you a permanent tree? Gasp, I heard the collective gasp through the lens right there. But just curious, are you someone who goes out and harvests a tree, either on a tree farm or in a national forest or BLM land or something with a permit? Or are you someone who has a permanent tree that you just unbox every year? So type that in there. So of the folks who have chimed in already, who do we have with us?
I have our YouTube people, Christy from Tacoma, Raindrops and Roses in Indiana, Angela in New Zealand, Jan from the UK, Brandon, I'm not sure where he's from, Therese, House of Elegance, not sure what city or state or country that is, but those are our viewers on YouTube, and then I was just trying to gather my Facebook people.
They go a little faster typing.
Yeah.
All right, Ricky, you see anybody else pop in that we should give a shout out to?
I think Annie's got everyone so far that I've seen over on YouTube. Yeah. I'm not on Facebook today.
Okay,
so I don't know who's over there.
You don't know. See, I don't know. They know more than I do. When you're the one on camera, it's your job to show up and have stuff ready to roll. The rest of the stuff just kind of magically happens. Usually.
Looks like we have Drake from Salt Lake City,
nice.
Kathy from Wisconsin. I'm just scrolling. Jim is with us. Dove is with us.
Excellent.
Lisa from Woodlands, Texas. Let's
nice.
See. My comments are not scrolling. Let's see here. Oh, hi David. He's with us. I don't know if they're still on the plane, but
very good.
But they're here.
Awesome.
Let's see. Scott has a head cold.
I'm right with you, buddy.
Yeah.
Totally right with you. Yep. Absolutely.
Let's see. Robin from Delaware is with us.
Nice.
I'm sorry if I miss anybody because I'm scrolling really fast.
That's all right. Well, sounds like we've got a good assortment of folks in.
Yeah.
So I have an assortment of fresh evergreens that I'm working with. I have some juniper, I have some Douglas fir, I have some noble fir, I have some incense cedar, I have something I forgot to look up. But I believe that it came from Mayesh, or no.
Floral Abundance.
Oh, it came from Floral Abundance. My mistake. Last week it came. And Annie had used it, and I thought, oh my gosh, this is just the coolest, prettiest looking stuff on the planet here. So I decided, all right, we're just going to pilfer that out and reuse it. That's the nice thing about evergreen foliage and conifers this time of year. They are exceptionally long lasting. So they give us a lot. They give us a lot of mileage, which is very cost effective for us. And yes, I'm using clippers, but I'm using them on these evergreens, and I just really don't want to dull the stink out of my knife trying to cut them with that. And get a few more pieces of that in here.
I know I've missed a lot of people on Facebook because I couldn't scroll fast enough, but Leanne is with us as well, so hi Leanne.
Excellent, hello. We've had a full day here today, even when you weren't here. So you'll get to hear all about it in our end of day. So anybody answering whether they're a permanent Christmas tree, a fake Christmas tree, or they like to go out and harvest their tree?
Yeah, let's see. I don't know if I have an official tally, but it looks like a mixed bag. Or some people used to do live, but then permanent now. Let's see. Some people have one versus the other because of their spouse. Here.
I know some people have mentioned to me in the past that they have allergies to trees. I'm a lucky one, I don't. And I understand the people who say, we used to do a fresh tree, but now we don't. They are a fair bit of work, aren't they? I love decorating the Christmas tree. I love getting it. I put on classic Christmas songs and have a hot toddy while I put my tree together. And I absolutely hate taking the tree down. That is probably my least favorite things on the planet to do. The decorating part is great. The taking it down part, not so much. Not part of my top 10 things that blow Michelle's skirt up. So I usually have an agreement with the hubs that I will do all the decorating, honey, if you will just take the Christmas tree down and put the things away.
To round back, the foliage that you were showing is called Coast Redwood.
Okay. I'll be tipped. Well, those are some of the prettiest little cones I've ever seen. I love them.
Yeah.
They're going in this one because this is kind of my woodland-inspired one. Even though it's blingy, I figure the forest can use a little bit of bling, can't it?
So Scott says he is allergic and he has to wear gloves when he designs with evergreen.
Okay, yeah, I feel for you on that.
We have a question for you.
Okay.
What's your favorite Christmas song, Michelle?
I was afraid of that.
Oh, really?
Well, because, it's like, which is your favorite child? Well, we know everyone has a favorite, even though the parents say, well, no, there's no favorite. No, there's a favorite. I was the favorite child in my family. I'm also an only, so I can say that. But, favorite Christmas song? So, traditional, like a hymn, Oh Holy Night. But if I'm listening to the radio and I just want Christmas music on, bar none, hands down, Eartha Kitt's version of Santa Baby. Oh, I said it, it just gave me a chill up my spine. She purrs that song out, it's fantastic. And then a close runner-up is Baby It's Cold Outside. That's a great one too. I'm not a Mariah new Christmas person. I'm like old Christmas, like the Reader's Digest collection of records. I put them on the turntable and let them drop through it as we go.
Nice.
Yeah.
So everyone's sharing their favorite Christmas songs. Let's see them come in and we'll mention some too.
Excellent. Yes, I would love that. There are so many, and there are new ones all the time. And I guess if I had a third favorite, and I can't think of the name of it, well, sort of, can't think of the name of it, but it's, oh my gosh, I have just had a brain fart. It is, it's from the 80s, it's the one, Take Off You Hoser. It's the guys that sing about 5 Golden Toques. It's the Canadian one. Never mind. Y'all know what I'm talking about. If you know what I'm talking about, you know what I'm talking about. And if you can, type in the name, because I have completely lost my mind. It's not Bill and Ted. I can't remember, but such as it is. All right, I think I have a couple more sprigs, but I've got a nice little sprig of the Coast Redwood here. I got a little more of that. Don't really want the foliage in it. I'm just kind of digging the cones themselves, so I'm going to work them in here. And then I think I will put a bow in there because I can, right?
ventured on Facebook, we'll have a side conversation. Denise says that Ricky is my favorite daughter.
I'm her only daughter.
Well, yeah, there's that, right? It's like I said, I was the favorite child. I am also the only child, so there is that. Those of you that had me in class, you aren't
And
surprised.
my brother is her favorite son.
Yeah, okay, well, yeah. Way to be political there, Mom, Denise. But I love it. Yeah. All right, so I'm just going to add a little bit of bow in here, a little bit of silver sparkle. I love wrapping packages. That's a joy of mine. And I think I got that from my mother. We never had more than one package in any Christmas wrap under our tree. So if there were 30 packages under the tree, there were 30 different kinds of wrapping paper under the tree. That always just used to crack me up. It's like, okay, that is a lot of work. I'm not really sure I'm game for that, but I got it. She just wanted it to be a riot of color under the tree. Funny side note on wrapping packages, my mother was a teacher, and when the way the calendar fell, she didn't have a lot of prep time beforehand, and students were out, but the teachers were in service. So they had, they had to stay and be at school for an extra 2 days, whatever. And she said, hey, can you wrap packages for me? I was probably in junior high, not high school, somewhere in there. And I'm like, sure, how will I know? And she said, well, I put numbers on the packages. So in the boxes, she numbered in the corner, and she said, I have a list, so just when you're done, just put a little number in the corner somewhere on the bottom of the package so I'll know. I'm like, oh, okay, cool. So I wrapped 30 packages or something. And then fast forward to Christmas Day, I go to open some of these packages, and they're ones that I had wrapped. I had wrapped my own stinking presents. I thought that was kind of dumb. But at the same time, I was like, okay, well, Mom was really smart to have me do that. So wrapping paper-wise, what are you guys? Do you like to have different kinds of wrap under the tree? You just pick wrapping paper that's pretty that you like? Or do you try and color coordinate it with your Christmas tree? So for example, the tree at our house is, which you've seen me do before on a live. My holiday decor is aqua and teal and silver and peacock. Lots of peacock feathers and sparkly bits and things like that. So I usually try and have my wrap be very complementary to that. I think it's probably in opposition to having the Tutti Frutti wrap under the tree. So just kind of curious, are you guys a matchy Christmas wrap? Or are you whatever strikes your fancy and you don't care if it's the same or not?
I'm lucky if the presents get wrapped.
Get wrapped? Yeah, I've had a couple of those years where a gift bag or a blob of tissue paper, and I call it good, and it's like, here's a bow. The bow is always gorgeous, right? Because as florists, we know how to tie pretty bows. So I'm going to tuck another little bit of ribbon in here, I think. Maybe just a little extra off to one side. You know, another cool thing, I suppose, interesting, clever, whatever you'd like to call it, about wrapping packages is picking one Christmas wrap per person. So let's just say Ricky and Annie and I are getting together for Christmas, and all of Ricky's packages are wrapped in green with gold ribbon, and all of Annie's are wrapped in red with white ribbon. Then you don't have to put tags on it. You just say, oh, Annie, that red and white one is yours, and all of them that are red and white are yours.
Do you have like a key or a legend, or you just like verbalize it?
I guess it depends on how many people you have in your family.
Yeah.
For me, it was never really a big thing. There weren't that many of us, so it's I can keep it pretty well, figured out. But I usually still kept it within a color palette or within a theme.
Well, Carl and Marjorie both mentioned that they do just a different wrapping paper for the person, so they have some consistency there. So
Nice.
they're on the same wavelength as you.
Awesome. Well, not enough bling, right? I love the woodland, I like the sparkle, but I need some more bling. So what I have are these glittered branches. They look like a flat cedar if I were to make them into a real plant of some kind. And the whole center is wired. So I can come in and mold them and twist them and get glitter all over. I think Jim's probably breaking out in a rash right now. But doing that gives them a lot more movement. It just makes them look much more interesting than this flat little piece of something. And because they're on wires, I can cut them apart, she says. Not as easily as she thought. And I can add just a little bit of sparkle into the design. Who am I kidding? I always think glitter is appropriate. It's a thing for me. But I definitely think at the holidays, adding a little extra sparkle to something is wonderful, whether it's spray painting branches or working with permanent botanicals or faux botanicals to put a little extra sparkle into things. I always think that's a bonus. Ricky, is this showing up okay, having it off to the side like this?
Yeah, it's okay.
Smack dab in the middle. Since I've got sticks, it's kind of weird. I can't really see over it very well. All right, so what are their answers? Are they any more people chiming in, whether they're mix and match Christmas wrap or they're more
Just kind of a
coordinated
mixed bag. What do you think, Ricky?
I've seen a few responses. Tess says that she buys all different wrapping paper and she likes that.
Cool.
And Judy says when the kids were at home, we had stacking boxes, and all we would do was fill them up and stack them up with one big bow on top of the box.
Oh, put all of their packages together and wrap them as one. Oh, that's clever.
I like that.
Yeah, I do that a lot when I have, especially for children, because seriously, isn't that the best joy at Christmas is watching, not the best joy, but it's like the top 10, watching kids tear into the packages with excitement. But if I've given them like a turtleneck and a sweater and a pair of gloves or something, each item gets its own box and I'll make that tower of treats with it for sure. That's a cute idea for making it look organized under the tree, and then everybody's stuff is stacked and ready to go for them to open. Okay, added a little bit more bling, but it's not done until it's overdone because it's Christmas, at least for Michelle. So I have some ornaments. These are unbreakable ornaments. Oops. Hopefully my glue gun is still working over here. Feels like it. And yes, I could wire these into a cluster and tuck them in. Absolutely could do that. But what I'm going to do instead is just use some hot glue and glue them directly into my arrangement. Depending on the purpose of your arrangement that you've made or the type of ornaments that you've used, you may or may not want to glue them. Now, if you're working with ornaments that you have for your tree and you're just changing things up and putting them on, putting them in an arrangement or into a wreath, like you noticed last week, Annie had some, and you wired most of yours in, didn't you?
It depended on the ornament
On
as
the
well.
ornament, yeah. Okay.
If it's something I want to reuse, I definitely would wire it. If it, if it's not as important, so more of an economy ornament, then I would just glue as well.
Yeah. So these are from the super affordable store. And for me, it was more about just having the texture and the color. Now I want one that sits up a little bit higher over here. So I could take my wired wood pick and just feed that through the crown on the ornament and use it that way, or I could use a taped wire. But the nice thing is on these unbreakable ornaments, they're inexpensive enough that if you are trying to get a look on a budget, this is a great way to add a lot of sparkle without a lot of expense. And if you don't get it back, if you're gifting them to people or something like that, it's not really a crisis at that point. So here's the first one, just kind of, oh, how about flowers? I got so excited with the silly ornaments, I forgot the stinking flowers. Holy cow. Way to be on top of it, Michelle. All
I
right.
thought you were just doing all foliage.
Well, I totally could have, but this one's supposed to be white, so I guess I better put white in it. But to me, that is the fun part of Christmas. You can just keep adding things. So yeah, I like it as it is. I'd be perfectly happy with it the way it is. But let's just make it a little more, because we can. So I'm just gonna add some white into this, level up the sparkle element a little bit. White is such a wonderful color, or combination of color, or lack of color, depending on how you want to look at that. Whether you're on a spectrum or a color wheel. But this time of year, you know, purity and all the symbolism that goes with it. But it's just a really wonderful addition. And you don't have to have expensive flowers to make it impressive. I'm going to shift that over a little bit. He's kind of in the way of my flower. There we go. Working with these chrysanthemum disc buds, just getting a line of those worked up to one side. And got some pretty white spray roses here. Don't need a lot of them, but just enough to add a little extra sparkle on the opposite side, maybe. Something a little different.
I love how bloomy those spray roses are. They're really pretty.
They are just. Did these come in last week also?
They did, from Floral Bunch.
From Floral Abundance,
I
yeah.
don't know the variety, but I'm sure that you could look it up in the website or ask the rep.
Yeah, they have just. They've opened like a. Oh, I'm gonna go out on a limb and say they're a garden spray rose, just because of the way they've opened. They're flattening out, kind of like that classic teacup shape that you'd have with an old heirloom style garden rose. And fragrance? No fragrance, but that's okay. As pretty as they are, they can get away with not having fragrance. We'll let it slide on this one. But they've just gotten more beautiful from last week with them blowing open. And I'm sure they were lovely last week, but they're even more stunning this week. I kind of want them all. I want all the things.
Drake is asking if they're majulicas. I don't think they're majulicas.
I don't think so,
They're
Drake.
a little
Yeah.
higher petal count.
Yeah, these are just really, they are very pure white. I don't know if that's reading on camera as well, but they're much fuller and fluffier than a majolica would be. Put that down so I can get my hand in here. Tuck a couple more of those little babies in because I can.
And then I don't know what your plan is, but Brandon on YouTube was wondering if you were going to add some baby's breath to resemble some snow. It could be fun.
I wasn't going to, but I will since you brought it up. Let's put a little dusting of snow in there.
Good idea, Brandon.
Good
We like
idea,
it.
and designed by committee. I love it. Love it, love it, love it. Put a little extra bit of sparkle in there. I'm starting to love baby's breath again. For quite a while I was anti-chip. I tell the students in class there are no cheap flowers. Cheap is what we do to them. How we use them, how we incorporate them is what makes them look cheap, but they aren't cheap. And for a while, the look using baby's breath was not conducive to an upscale appearance, I guess I would say. And I'm talking specifically about the baby's breath and mason jars era that we went through for weddings a while back, and it just wasn't really doing the product any big favors at that point. Teacher Jerry has done some incredible weddings with baby's breath clouds and clouds suspended from dance floors, and giant disco balls practically made of baby's breath. So you can use it in a manner that makes it interesting and appealing. Whoops, and I just snapped his poor little head to the consumer. So don't get hung up on, oh, it's baby's breath. It's still
It's a touch of snow.
just a little touch of snow in there with the sparkle. And I got a tree branch in my way. Little pruning, little editing there because I can. All right, and I need a pokey uppy bit. Just one more little piece of something sticking up back there.
Scott is wondering
Mm-hmm.
if that snow is excellence or million stars.
It is million stars.
Million stars.
Yes.
All right.
My little pine cone just sit higher. I got a little excited and buried him down in there. All right, now that we have the flowers in, now we are done. I'll get this one out of the way. Some days you just get so excited you forget what you're working on. Now I have a glittery mess on everything up here. I guess I shouldn't call it a mess, it's just glitter everywhere. I don't think that's a bad thing. Alright, so next up I want to tackle my red arrangement. And I'd like some input on this. I am going to use the amaryllis because they're just so dang spectacular. How could I not use them? And I'm adding a hyacinth stake to my amaryllis to give it a little more support. He's a little less sturdy than I would really like him to be, and that's just going to give me a little more support on his stem. Now, if you check out the Flower Lovers Club, right, Ricky? We have a video.
This is Tuesday.
Tulip Tuesday. I misspoke. Tulip Tuesday, where Leanne shares her tips and tricks for getting amaryllis to last, or cut amaryllis to last a really, really long time. And I won't go into that here because you can watch that on your own on a different day. So let me just shorten that just a little bit. Oh, no, maybe not. He's not coming out. I guess that's a good thing. I'll just cut through him. Easier said than done. So once I get my amaryllis placed, I would like some feedback from all of you out there. What other red flowers would you like to see me add to this? I have freedom roses. Well, here, let's just take a tour, shall we? I have red freedom roses, red standard carnations, some beautiful red alstroemeria, some red ranunculus, some red mini carns.
Red Panther.
Thank you, red panther. I was like, red panther roses, and then I have a little bit of ilex as well. Plus, of course, you know, because it's me, glitter. So, holler out, shout them out, type it in quickly. What would you like to see me add to this as the floral component? I need at least a rose. And whoever shouts out first, I'm not going to totally make a decision by committee, but definitely would like some feedback. So as people shout some things out.
It's all over the place.
All right, well,
I got carnations, ilex, ranunculus, freedom roses, mini carnations,
Okay.
alstroemeria, ranunculus, ilex. Oh my goodness, ranunculus, ilex berries.
What were the first three
Classic
things?
red carnations.
What were the first three things?
First three things, I think carnations, ilex, and ranunculus.
Okay.
But you said you wanted a red rose, so
I
I
want-
think
What was the first red rose?
Well, the only rose that was mentioned is freedom.
Okay. Then that's what we're gonna use. We'll use some freedom roses.
Okay, a second on freedom.
All right. And some standard red cards, and I think I heard Redux, right?
Redux, yeah.
All right, cool beans. So we'll see what we can come up with there. I think I'll get a little bit of foliage.
Actually, I think Ilex was in there too.
Ilex was
I don't know. There's no wrong answer.
That is true. There is no wrong. And for the one time in your life, there is no wrong answer. All of it, Michelle. We want it all in there. I don't
I
have
think
that
the Ilex
big
would look
container.
cool to
Yeah,
add that different texture.
yeah. We can do the ilex. Oh my goodness, some of these branches,
I know.
they're like, I need
Killer.
they have a mind of their own. So I asked you a question a few minutes ago about your Christmas wrap, how you like to deal with that. If you were a matchy-matchy or if you were a anything goes, 63 different varieties of Christmas wrap, don't really care. Well, I have the same kind of question for you about your Christmas tree. Are you someone who has a very themed, color-coordinated tree like rose gold and ivory? Or, I just picked that. I already told you that mine was themed. Or do you have what I call the family tree, where you have all of the ornaments that children made through the years, the ones out of bottle caps. From back in the day when we used to get milk in little milk jars at school, they came with little foil caps on them, and we would always, in early elementary school, glue the caps together and put glitter in them and make ornaments out of them. And I'm quite confident if I dug around, I would still have one of those. So are you someone who needs a themed tree, or do you have just a mismatch of ornaments that make you happy? I am curious. What's your tree like, Ricky?
What's my tree like?
Yeah.
Well, my mom, when we were kids, did the tradition of wherever we traveled, we would buy an ornament from.
Oh.
Yeah.
And that's kind of something that I've carried on as I'm like doing my first Christmas not with my family,
Uh-huh.
my like partner and everything.
Yeah.
So like buying ornaments from trips and then hand making some ornaments, and that's just kind of all our tree is.
Cool. So mix match of color. Are you an all white light or multicolored light?
Multicolored lights, and like specifically the C9 vintage looking ones.
Nice.
High five on them. Yes. Yes, that would be my childhood right there, was the multicolored with the big C9s and the tinsel that was actually made out of tin
Oh.
or lead, and you would go to hang it on the tree and you could kind of throw it at the tree and it would land and hang because it was heavy. Then we went to the plasticky, tinsel-y stuff down the road, which just didn't have the same effect, but I'm certain that it was probably less toxic. I don't know. Hard to say. How about you, Annie? What are you?
Oh, I already shared last week, but I have a whole fishing thing.
Oh, that's right, you did. Totally. My bad. I forgot
No,
about
it's
that.
okay, because I love it. I loved it so much, I kept it up all year.
Hey, you know?
Very bright neon, and I have like stuffed animals in it too. I mean, stuffed fish or octopus and squid and a crocheted squid and
That's awesome.
A fish that I sewed out of fabric. I mean, it's just random. It's
Cool.
kind of great.
So what are we hearing from our folks out there? Are they a mismatch or are they a color coordinated tree?
There is definitely a mix. Let's see.
Anybody sharing what their color palette
Yeah, let's see here. Jim says that he really likes the hand-blown, hand-painted Christmas ornaments from Europe.
is? Oh, who doesn't?
Drake said that he does a black and gold queen bee theme
Excellent.
for his mom, and because they call her the queen bee.
Nice.
Sherry says that she does a themed tree, but they do include the kids' ornaments. Jim says multicolored eclectic. Let's see here. Going by too fast. Rick says he likes, just went by. Rick says he likes trees with white lights with metallic mercury glass ornaments.
Ooh,
He
pretty.
does that a lot for many of his people. I think that sounds really elegant.
It does sound very elegant. And Rick, I'm super jealous of you that, you know, you got to meet the queen, Martha Stewart. That reading your post about that just made my whole day. It's like, oh my gosh, that was so cool. And your smile, it was just like, you were a happy boy on your birthday, let's put it that way.
Let's see, Scott and Robin both have a blue and white theme.
Ooh,
It's
like
silver.
aqua blue, light blue, or royal blue?
I don't know. I think that we need to have everyone post their trees in the Tulip Bunch.
That is a great idea, Annie.
That'd be a fun little string of pictures to look at.
Yeah, so Teacher Annie has issued a request
Yes.
to y'all to post in the Tulip Bunch pictures of your Christmas tree. And whoever gets there first, start the thread and get it going. And, we said Alex Berry's doing them.
Looks like Tess does 3 different trees, one with its own theme, one is handmade ornaments by the family, and then 2 is gold, and 3 is an adult cocktail tree. That sounds like a fun tree.
Yeah. Does it have cocktails on the tree?
I don't know, but it'd be kind of fun to hang those little bottles, right?
Yeah.
Oh, it's breakable, I better take that off.
Well, they do make those in plastic, you know.
Oh, darn it.
I mean, I've seen them in the stores.
Yeah.
That's
Maybe.
Maybe. That's how I know. Yeah.
Angela says she has a rose gold theme with dusty pink pine cones. That sounds
Ooh,
dreamy.
that does sound lovely. All right, got some ilex in there. So maybe one more piece of ilex.
Yeah, I'm gonna need to see some trees.
Yeah, no kidding, after listening to all this. And then I think I'll offset on the opposite side with some glitter because I can, right?
Yes, you can.
Because I can. And then Christmas balls because. Just because.
Robin clarified she does royal blue.
Okay, royal blue with on her tree, with the white. Was that it? Nice. Who was the other one? Scott, what do you do?
Scott.
Is yours a light blue or a royal blue? What kind of blue? Bluey blue? I guess Bluey is something, right? You have a little one running around. Isn't Bluey a cartoon something?
Yeah, it's
A
like
dog.
a kids show
Yeah. I
about
do not know why. I know.
healers from Australia.
Oh, a blue.
Oh, I was
healer.
right. I was like, a dog?
Yeah, I thought it was a dog, but I just didn't know. I didn't know anything more than that, and I'm not really sure why I knew that, to be honest. My husband, bless his heart, says I have an amazing retention in my brain for useless bits of information.
Mm-hmm.
And I thanked him for that comment and said, "You will henceforth no longer be my Trivial Pursuit partner, and best of luck to you." So, should you get to play Trivial Pursuit with me, I have a wonderful, vast amount of knowledge on a lot of subjects, not a lot of depth, but a lot of breadth. Okay, oh, this one's working out cute. At least I think it is. Do you guys like this one?
No, they're loving it for sure. And then to answer some other questions, Scott says royal to light blue.
Ooh, okay.
So royal is a popular color. And
Nice.
then Dove said that last year his tree was a skiing moose, gnomes, and woodland animals and other ski-themed ornaments.
Oh, how fun.
Really cute.
So do you change your tree theme every year then, Doug? Or is that your tree theme? Because I know then you can just keep adding to it. Okay, and because I have the glue gun out here and mostly hot, we're gonna put some ornaments in because I can. Once it heats up again. There we go.
Connie has a question for the tulips. She's wondering if anyone still has an aluminum tree from the 60s.
Oh man.
That's on my wish list, an aluminum tree from the 60s. Because I would love at our house where I do the aqua and the peacock and the silver and the teal, I would love to have a silver faux tree. To me, I feel like that's the only time it's really okay to do a faux tree is if you just go all in and it's fake and there's just no way around it, that you know it. That would be on my top 10 list of things to find. But they're super vintage, so they're super cool, which means they're super expensive. But, you know, I can justify just about anything purchase-wise, so I'm certain I could make that fly.
I've been a big fan of seeing the all-white fake trees with like neon Christmas decorations this year.
Oh.
They look super cool.
I
Because the
have
ornaments
seen
just
that.
pop against
So
the
they're
white.
like flocked and then they have cool color lights.
No, it's like the plastic trees that
Okay.
are white.
Yeah.
And then Target did like a whole neon Christmas ornament collection, and I've seen a lot of people take those ornaments and decorate their white trees.
Nice.
Yeah,
My
they look
tree's
super
pretty
cool.
neon. It's, I mean, all the chartreuse and hot colors, fluorescent colors. Oh my goodness.
Well, I'm gonna have to wait on the ornaments because Bad Michelle did not get the glue gun charged up before live today. I started to do it. I had the battery in my hot little hand. I took it with me out of the room, and then I promptly set it down on something and didn't get back to it. So it is not charged up enough.
Oh my goodness. Kathy said that they had one of those trees, but when she cleaned out her mom's house, it was given to Goodwill. Somebody was lucky.
Yeah, no kidding. No kidding. Wow. Yeah. Sometimes we make decisions in the moment that we wish we could change down the road. All right, so we'll just add some ranunculus in for now, and then I'll come back later and add some ornaments into it, or maybe not. Maybe we'll just leave it like it is. You guys
That's
like
a
that
beautiful
one?
container.
Isn't that nice?
Yeah, I love
Yeah.
it. It's so pretty.
I picked this up at our local wholesale market. It's glass, although I can't really hear it that well. And it's from Poland. It's Polish glass in that sense. But I just thought it had a really pretty shape to it. And if you were giving this as a gift to somebody, it would be great as just a candy dish or something down the road. So there's my all red one. Let's get that out of the way. And as is typical with Future Michelle, we're down to the wire and I don't have my special one done, but that's okay. It's just a surprise for you to watch afterwards. So here I have a plastic container, and I've used the midnight foam in it, and I've used the midnight tape so it disappears into the foam. But I don't want my tape to show, so what I'm going to do is cut my tape a little bit shorter here on the sides that's holding my foam in. Oops, not my finger. Already did the red arrangement, don't need to bleed. And then I'll come back with just a little strip of the white tape and do it as a crossbar for security on the black tape, and it hides that black tape that's hanging over the edge of the container. Is in theory. I didn't get that one trimmed quite short enough, so it's not as fabulous as I would have liked. But now, does that show, Ricky? Now you can see or not see those strips of black tape coming down over the edge. And yes, I could use white tape, absolutely, but then I have white tape going across my black foam. And unless I was doing something really cool design-wise where that incorporated into my composition as a design element, I really wouldn't want to look at the white tape on the black foam. So there's that. Alrighty, so fire. We have candles for this one. I thought this would just be kind of fun. So I have a couple different tapers that I did not push in securely enough, obviously. Now I know some of you also tape over your tapers. You'll place these in and then tape over the little candle holder. That's great. You could do that too. I'm not doing it in this instance, but you absolutely could do that. It gives you extra security. Whoops, I'm going to shift that over just a smidgy. And then I've got a nice little short one here. So just changing things up a little bit with the pair of white ones and the red ones. With glitter everywhere. Jim, you just should be so glad that you're not here today. All right, I have some beautiful noble fur here to work with to give me my line. This will be, hopefully when I'm done, the plan is it'll be a two-sided kind of oval-esque, crescent-esque design. Get a little bit of that tucked in the inside. The downside to candles in those candle holders like I'm using is that you do have to try and hide them a little bit. They're often a little challenging to conceal. It's not too bad, but you know. Gives you a little bit of work. Alright.
Dove said that that was his client's tree. He doesn't have a personal tree. And then each year the client comes up with something different and they get to run with it. So
How fun is that?
that sounds
I love clients that are willing to kind of step outside the box and change things up. Or even us, you know, I'm as guilty as the next person of getting in a rut with whatever it is and just not changing it up. So kudos on that.
Dennis has a question.
Sure.
I don't know if you have an answer, but he says, what is considered adequate spacing for taper candles so that their heat does not affect the others?
Yeah, you want to be a couple inches apart easily. These two from each other are fine, I would say. These are a little close right here. So I always think of like if I can put 3 fingers or, you know, 2 fat fingers or 3 fingers between them. This is going to probably end up as a gift for a friend whose house I'm going to dinner tomorrow night. And they have pets, so I know for a fact she will not be lighting them. So they really are more for effect. But if you are making a design where you either don't know if the recipient will actually light the candles or not, or if you know for a fact that they're going to light the candles, I would absolutely make sure that they're far enough apart that you don't have them melting each other. That's a great question. And I knew where it was going, so I wasn't too concerned with their placement, but I'm glad you asked that. So I'm just building out from the center a little bit with some of this. This is your pine, isn't it, Annie?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, the
Sapphire something.
yeah. The last house we lived in, we had a couple of these trees in our front yard. We just called them the creepy trees.
Yeah, they're like these monsters.
Yeah, they're
dry.
cool and creepy at the same time. At Halloween, they're fun to put lights in, like purple and orange lights, but they're just weird.
The other weird tree that I have is the weeping sequoia, which is also like a big green monster. Different
Monster.
Yeah.
Michelle, do you want to give everyone a reminder about the next couple of weeks in live?
Yes, I can absolutely do that. I have a note up here that says Jan 8 on it. So this is the last live for 2024. We will be back on Wednesday, January 8th with you doing live in person. So you get a little bit of a break from us for the holidays, but just the way the holidays fell this year, we've got Wednesday holidays, and you guys are going to be busy with your friends and family, as are we. So we decided that we would just take a little Christmas break and be back in January with more flowering fun for everyone. Now, obviously, I'm not anywhere close to done on this, and I will get it finished up once. I'll continue to work on it, but I will finish it up. And then, of course, Ricky will have amazing photography for you tomorrow to see. And
I can't believe it's gonna be the new year when we see everyone again.
I know.
We didn't even have a chance to talk about our resolutions.
I'm too old for resolutions. I know better. I know I'm not going to keep them, so I just save my energy.
Well,
But you just knock your little heart out there, girl. You just resolve to do anything you want.
well, in case people were thinking about doing something they love,
Well, yes, that I would agree. That would be your best New Year's resolution,
Yes.
is resolve to do something you love and come to flower school. And if you know someone who would love to come to flower school, why not get them a gift certificate? We have them on our website. You can buy them in preset amounts or any amount that you want. They make a great stocking stuffer, but they also would make a great gift in general. Ricky.
Don't tell anyone I told you guys.
Okay.
oh,
But starting on Friday,
Yeah.
gift certificates are going to be 20% off.
uh-oh, awesome.
Okay, so for those of you that hung around to the bitter end today, starting Friday, all gift certificates, any denomination, are 20% off. How's that for a Christmas
That's pretty
gift?
awesome.
That, I would like that in my stocking.
Mhm.
So if you are trying to justify doing something for yourself, there's your incentive. If you are looking for a gift for a friend or a family member who has a passion for flowers and maybe wants to change their career or just improve their life, honestly, because flowers do that. Get online, get them a gift certificate, and
And get yourself one.
get yourself one, yeah, and just really make somebody's holiday. So I'm gonna finish this out. I'm gonna say from all of us here at Floral Design Institute, thank you for joining us this year. Thank you for being part of our bunch, and go do something you love for Christmas. Bye, everybody.